Then of course, you've got the US side, and then you've got us here, with Robot Nation and stuff. Can't wait to get this in print. Can't wait to hold it in my hand. Like when you see in digital, it's like it's digital, right? But once it's in your hand, it's a physical thing. Yeah, it's the best feeling. Like I remember having like the web comic of Incredi-Girl #1. I was like, it's real now. It's in print. All right. Let me see if there's anything else I want to. Oh yeah, wrestling. Wrestling. I forgot. Right, I almost forgot that. So let's finish off on wrestling. So I watch wrestling as much as I do anime, or maybe a bit less. But I've watched wrestling since I was a kid, right? And one thing I found really interesting when it comes to WWE and when it comes to WWE, AEW, never mind all the other friggin' hundreds of other people, there's this thing between AEW, right? Sorry, I should say WWE fans and AEW, right? Where they always put down, no matter anything that AEW does, they always put down AEW, no matter how good it is, no matter what is involved. And one of the funniest things about that was a match between Swerve Strickland and I think Adam Cole. So let me just bring that up. And had to do with a like a pay-per-view match where Swerve and Adam Cole, basically had a match and it involved blood. Right? It was vicious. It was full on vicious. And I think was it Revolution? And so, was it Revolution or was it earlier? Let me see if I can, which one it was. So what happened was like these got like these like the AEW like shields, right? I would call them shields because that's what it was. It was like not AEW shields, WWE shields. What it was they were like so over the top anti AEW that the moment they saw blood, right? I think this one here. I think it was this one. So it got to a point, right? It was so vicious. There was a lot of blood in this match, like really, literally. So let me find an actual decent. They're moving all the time. Stop moving, guys. You're making it all furry. Right. So this is Swerve Strickland, right? And that's at it's Page, Adam Page. I think it was Adam Page. I think it was kept calling Cole. Right. So the story was it was this full-on thing where Swerve Strickland actually went into Page's home while he wasn't there into his child's bedroom.
You cost me title opportunities. You took something from me, so now you owe me a debt, Hangman. So since you're not here, is it going to be Hangman Jr. does? Huh? You going to give me my opportunities? You going to owe me something? No. As a matter of fact, you will, just not today. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave this here as a reminder that you are forever indebted to me. And it's your father's fault. I'm never going to forget that. Neither are you. Swerve's house.
Boss, we gotta go.
And looked over the court. So it was the whole storyline was really vicious, right? As you know, it's basically TV, right? So with a bit, sports choreographed. So that was the storyline, and so Adam Cole basically, Swerve Strickland, Page, right? They have this full-on match, and there's blood everywhere, and so it's kind of it's really hard to describe because like basically at one point Page basically drinks Swerve Strickland's blood, like Shane's blood, right? And so the next day, right, that straight away afterwards, everybody's WWE fans are like, how could they? Blood, how dare they, do blood and all this.
Why would you do something as gross as that? Because I'm thinking if the advertisers see it, why would somebody want to advertise on a show that they see one participant drinking another participant's blood? Is this damn the midnight hour or what? We got vampires running around here. It's a wrestling show. And I know they didn't like each other, but why would somebody drink another person's blood? I don't get it. I don't think it helps you get any more over. It's disgusting. And I just don't get it. For him to put his mouth under and the guy drips the blood into it, I don't get it.
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that ever in any other promotion?
No. And I don't want to see it. If you want to see somebody do it, check out an Abdullah match. Isn't the blood enough? But you got to have, this guy's so crazy that he's drinking the blood. What the fuck is going on? How does that change anybody's perception of Hangman Page? I don't get it at all. So he can probably do it. And I don't know. But I don't think nobody's going to be coming back to him in a year or in 6 months saying, I watched you when you drank the blood from Swerve. It was always beyond the pale. It was cutting edge. Get the fuck out of here. It was stupid. It really was.
Because the policy at WWE has been for a few years now, no blood, no swearing, no blood, no swearing, right? And so AEW just, they just go all out. It's kind of it's a really cool mix because it's like, you can have really clean, non-blood fights, or you can have like blood, these fights, for pay-per-view can turn into like, death matches, right? Like weapons, no holds barred kind of things. And so, which I love, like I really, if you watch like lame, freaking, grappling matches, it gets boring, right? Like I mentioned earlier about stories. Like if you hear if you hear a freaking YouTuber talk about the same thing every day, it gets boring, right? And so I like watching like death matches, right? Full on. And then I also like watching, the Japanese wrestlers, female wrestlers, I always forget the friggin' name. It's annoying. Anyway, New Japan Wrestling as well, and actually that group is actually the female wrestling Japanese outfit is gonna be part of in New Japan. I just heard today, so they're going to team up as one thing. So it's going to be really cool because they got some amazing talent. I actually think some of the Japanese female wrestlers have harder hits and falls than most of American top name wrestlers, right? Because those mats don't friggin' have any foam on them, right? Because like all the US ones and even UK ones and also Mexico ones probably have a layer of like an inch thick of like foam on top, hard foam but still foam that that kind of softens the blow, right? But those guys, they're just on freaking plywood, man. You can hear them hit. It doesn't get muffled, right? It's like that. And so, sorry for the loudness there. And so when I look, that's what I like enjoying watching I rather watch the female Japanese wrestlers matches than the American inlets. But so what happened with the wrestling was that because of everybody in the WWE, the commentators were like putting it down really, really bad. Like they were like on friggin' commentating, like yelling and screaming, or Twitter and on YouTube going, oh, they shouldn't have done that. It's just putting down, making a joke of wrestling and making it all about this. I'm like, really? Do you guys not watch any other show but WWE? Is that all you watch? I mean, like I said, Lucha Libre. I'm watching freaking Japanese. I'm watching CZW, which is Combat Zone. I'm watching freaking New Japan. I hardly watch WWE because I get bored after 40 years of that thing. It's basically the same show, same storylines over and over again. And even like found out this week, even those people who wanted the whole Cody storyline are now within 48 hours are going, we don't want that storyline anymore. It's like, we don't like Cody anymore. It's like fickle, right? However, if you're watching a whole bunch of other, other outfits, wrestling outfits, you get to really see what else is out there, and so you don't get bored, right? And then you sort of enjoy what you're watching because now you get a taste of this and taste of that. So with AEW, they just, and I think the only reason they always put down AEW is because they see AEW as a legitimate American outfit that's challenging to WWE, because WWE shills wouldn't be putting down AEW as much if they didn't see it as a threat to WWE. Yeah, should they have all the money, but they also have 40 years of friggin', being in the business, right? They've done everything, right? So they've known how to write the stories away. But then they went on to like recently, right? So not only did they copy the whole blood thing and swearing from AEW within like a month of putting them down, not only that, then they go on to, oh, now AEW is letting people go because they got new people coming. Guess what happened this week? They let a whole bunch of WWE people go. Oh, now WWE fans are all shutting their mouth now. This is what I mean about the whole idea of like all they see AEW is like they hate them so much that when their own crowd does it, WWE, they just shut their mouth and don't say anything. And it's just becomes, it's when you watch like 5-6 different other wrestling outfits like I do, right? Kind of thing, like you can see the shill in that, right? You can see how hypocritical it is. And that's why I don't talk about wrestling a lot on this channel, because I just enjoy it. I watch the clips and stuff, and and just keep it to myself. But I think the idea is that if you like wrestling as wrestling, you would enjoy it, right? For what it is, because we know it's all choreographed, right? It's not like 100% real, because yeah, it hurts, but you're not in there. You're not gonna lose a match and lose. I mean, if you lose a match, you're gonna lose a match. You're not gonna worry about it because next week you might win that match. It's not like MMA where you're like putting your body on the line and you're there to win, right? That's it. It's not like a boxing match where you race, or even a friggin' athletics, right? You're there running against everybody to win. In wrestling, you're not there to win. It's a storyline. And so I find it funny how people get so deep into wrestling where they will hate another company just because someone else they loved, like Adam Copeland, right? Edge. Now they hate him because he's at AEW, because he's over there now, we don't like him anymore. And because he's over there now, that's because he's taking he's decided to do that, be part of that company after getting fired, of course. He's not allowed to do wrestle anywhere else, right? He should go to the indies, like far away from AEW, right? As far away from WWE. And it's like, well, is he not allowed to earn a living, right? And it's the hypocritical. It's just like friggin' Triple H going off on Will Ospreay, right? Who's friggin' amazing, right? And because he wants to look after himself and wants to look after his family, and he's like, oh, if you don't do 365, whatever, every day, then you're not a wrestler. It's like, well, just because you grinded on someone to get the job you're at now doesn't mean everybody wants to do that themselves, right? He's worried about, look at all the breakdowns in families that wrestling has, all the deaths that wrestling has, right? All the suicides, right? All the, domestic violences that WWE has, right? A legacy of, destructive family environments. you know, all sumo, all sumo 2024. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I find it, that's why I thought, like, I just find it funny that you'd have somebody going, hey, I want to make sure that I'm close to my family, that the amount of wrestling I'm doing, I'm bringing my A game, but I'm also looking after myself and my family. And it's like, it's funny to hear them like put that down when, as a CEO of a friggin' outfit, your family is the friggin' business. Your father-in-law was the owner of the business. Your wife has been, you know, raised in the family. Your brother-in-law is in that family. Your mother-in-law has been in the business, right? So you have the goal as, you know, as a CEO, right, to put down another company or to put down another wrestler who isn't, you know, screwing the, you know, the daughter of the owner, you know, because the whole thing was China, right? We all know, if you've followed wrestling, you know what he did to China, right? And sadly, China, you know, went into adult, you know, X-rated movies and stuff, and ended up committing suicide, right? And they just left her out there to hang, and the stuff storylines that's to do with it, you know, put her down and stuff. Like, I think, you know, here's the thing, right? So when we talk about like the stuff that WWE has done in the past, right, is just, you know, it's been terrible. Not only sexist, sexual harassments and all that, but even racism, right? Blatant racism. It's just funny. Like, check out this little clip here. I'm sure, you know, it's from one of the channels, so hopefully, you know, WWE doesn't have a mess around with this one. That was awesome. Yeah, man. I miss Eddie. Eddie was cool. You know, that's what I mean about, like, you know, WWE has a whole friggin' line of like deaths, suicides, and DVs, and it's just so sad, you know. And yet they're willing to throw anybody who wants to look after themselves, especially like over at AEW, you know, under the bus. And it's like, you guys are so hypocritical when somebody says, hey, I want to look after myself, I want to look after my family, you know, at my own pace. And they're like, oh, you know, I don't want, you would never work at AEW, WWE with that attitude. It's like, yeah, well, because this is when people are thinking about their future, not thinking about the company, right? They're not willing to die for the company, right? And put, you know, ruin their marriages and stuff. So they're able to come in on their own, you know, contract. And that's the whole thing. Like, before, like, you either work there or you work nowhere. And now it's like you got another place, which is like, you know, talking about another place. Like, TNA is basically owned by the same company that owns WWE, right? It's Endeavor Group, right? So they own TNA. And not only that, all the top talent, right, like Cena and Rock, are represented by another company that is owned by Endeavor Group, right? Oh, did I lose it? Did they cut me out? Bummer. Hopefully not. But yeah, so like, imagine that, like, you've got, oh, here's the other thing I was thinking while I was watching that. Eddie Guerrero didn't have to be naked on national TV. Talk about John Cena, right? That is the most, that had to be the most, like, I don't know what it is, like, where you got to sacrifice your soul, right? I think, yeah, the Latino Heat thing that must have, like, turned, you know, turned the screen off. But I mean, like, sorry, the wrestling piece. But one of the things is, like, imagining, like, Cena at Golden Globes, right, being naked to promote a movie that he's in, when there's all these other people in there didn't have to do that. Yet Cena was willing to go naked on screen. Okay, so he's hiding his junk, but, you know, there's kids watching that. Like, Golden Globes, there's mom and dad sitting with mom and dad sometimes watching that, right? Now that is all over the internet. imagine, being a kid, oh, Cena, make a wish and all that stuff. And now you see this guy's naked, a male role model, so-called, right, is naked on a screen because he wants to win an award or wants to promote a movie. It's like, it's the weirdest thing to do. It's like what was this thing? It's like, I can't remember now. The comedian said earlier this year, right, in January, I think it was, like, he said, like, they keep wanting to put like dresses on actors, right, and you'll see them like get 10 movie deals, and it's like, Cena's at about 5 movie deals right now. I guess he's got another 5 to go, and one of the, like, it's like humiliation ritual is what they're calling it, what Cena did. And I think it is. I think it's like, why else would you, like, you could go up there with your, so-called championship belt and go, yo, I'm, John Cena, right? I'm in movies now. And like, nobody would give it. But like, why would you go naked on there? It's weird, like to humiliate yourself. It's like, oh yeah, because I'm proud of my, like, I wonder, like, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, I just lost all respect, to be honest. I was just like, it just feels weird to be spent 20 plus years of your life wrestling and top of the game, right? World champions in movies. Probably one of the funniest movies just about to come out. I can't remember what it's called, but I played the ad on the Monday night show. More movies, more was like Don't Hate Mondays, and with the trailer show, and I was like, this looks like a really fun movie to watch, and now I don't want to watch it. It's like, imagine sacrificing your your pride for a few extra bucks in front of everybody in like the world, and but it's not like Cena hasn't done that before, right? I just remembered he did that thing with what was that comedy he did with that lady who isn't even funny? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, I just thought that was pretty. Like, that's what, like, I think, like, the whole idea of like WWE, I don't see why isn't WWE putting down TNA, because TNA has hardly anybody at their shows, yet everybody is begging, like trying to put down WWE at 8,000 people at their shows. I watched a bit of what was it called? I think they had Revolution last year, because they introduced a Kiwi wrestler, because he was with them at that time. Now he's with AEW, Jay White, right? Switchblade Jay White. He's from New Zealand, and they said Austin, New Zealand. I'm like, where the hell's Austin, New Zealand? There isn't a place called Austin, New Zealand. It's Auckland, New Zealand. And the guy pronounced it wrong, and I was like, that doesn't. Did he say Austin? So I put on the subtitles. No, he did say Austin. He probably meant Auckland. And I was like, they didn't even correct it. But anyway, so yeah, there's probably like about 500 people turn up to a pay-per-view for a TNA show. Yet nobody puts down TNA from WWE, because they own TNA. Their own parent company owns TNA. That's why they were able to have Trinity on there. That's why they were able to have that, who's that really muscle-bound lady? Starts with J. And she was on there as well, right? Is it Jody? Can't remember. But she was on there as well. And they're like, what is that? Like the Royal Rumble, right? So they had 2 people basically showing up in a WWE Royal Rumble from TNA. That's why they don't put down TNA. But they will put down WWE, because WWE parent company has nothing to do with them. So that's why they see them as a challenge. And it's quite interesting to watch that all come down, because like that's what I mean about, like, when you don't watch all these other shows, you don't know what's going on. So all you see is that it's AEW, WWE, AEW. You don't watch. I almost had that name of the Japanese wrestling company that I was just thinking of. Hold on, I should be able to find it. I always forget. Even one of my favorite female wrestlers is on there. Like, that's Stardom. Damn it, Stardom. Why do I always forget Stardom? It's like such an easy one, right? So if you've never watched Stardom, check out Stardom official on YouTube. So freaking amazing female wrestling. It's a female outfit, but sadly, maybe it's a good thing as well, right? They've done so well. They're going to be joining New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? So let me see. Is this Saki on here? Sometimes it's really hard to, figure out who's fighting who because the names are, Japanese. But like, can you hear that? Like the bumps? Like, check out. Look at that friggin' plywood hit. Right. Julia, of course, coming to WWE is from Stardom, right? I reckon she's gonna fail in WWE, but she's a huge star in New Japan. I mean, sorry, in Stardom. Let me see if we can find something a bit faster because, like, man, there's some rugged matches. Right, we're gonna finish up with this, guys, and that's it for today. But yeah, do check out Stardom. Pretty awesome. If you're into wrestling, right, a really cool outfit. Japanese female wrestlers, really cool. And of course, you've got like AAA. I kind of find like AAA a bit more choreographed. It's just a bit out there, but sort of more TV kind of thing. Whereas like Stardom sort of feels like that, but has this hard-hitting matches, pretty full on. Like, I mean, if some of the clips, if you watch, like, just matches are just full on. But the other thing about them, there are more that showmanship, right? Like the costumes are amazing and stuff, and like just the way they do it's kind of like watching anime sometimes. And it's just pretty awesome sort of wrestling as well. And of course, New Japan, now they're going to be joining New Japan. That's going to be awesome as well. Very awesome athletic stuff. And so it doesn't sort of, because it's in Japanese, you're not going to like follow the storyline. So you're going to pay more attention to the actual wrestling, like I do. But that's us for today. Thank you for following. Gone 20 minutes over time, but I thought I'd finish off with the wrestling and stuff because it's kind of interesting to watch like the two, the whole WWE versus AEW, but nobody else. And putting down everybody else that's not in WWE, it's kind of sad to see that. But I mean, it is what it is. It's tribalism, and that's what it comes down to. You see that in comics all the time. See that in music as well, like, but it is what it is, right? At the end of the day, enjoy what you enjoy. Have fun. Wrestling's cool. I've been watching it since I was like 15, 14. So probably about 35 odd years. Yeah. So thank you for joining me today. Please check out my comic book on Horizon Sun Publishing, and it's and next week or the week after we'll have another one up there. So this is the one up to here right now, which is Robot Nation, and it's only for a couple bucks, as you can see, $3. Price of a coffee in New Zealand. And I have decent coffee, by the way. So, but please, check it out. And wherever you are, be well, be safe. We'll be back soon. Like I always say, all right? If you've got a loved one close by, let them know that you care, that you love them. Give them a hug and a kiss. If they're not, you know, let them know via Facebook messages, cell phone, right? Do it any way you can let them know that you're okay and, you know, you're thinking of them. Because, you know, that might be, you know, your word or whatever you're putting out there might be what they need as encouragement in their life today. So thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time. Ka kite anō. Have a good week.